Hey, good morning. I'll update my progress from last week. And last week I've been working on the movement from one task to another task and make this function available in the task executor. So this is a task executor. And before we do this task, I will give you some background of this part. So let's go to this workflow one. And so here, as you can see here, the T1, T2, T3, T7 is mapped in virtual machine 1. And here we can see here the T1 we only have one output port, and so we can name it one out. And one out is associated with a file address. So it's home, Ubuntu, and the file name. The file name is pointed the task ID followed by the input port name. So as you can see here, and for the T2 is the input from the T1 output, and we can see here we have the T2's input port is 1E, and it also has the same name with the T1's output. So also we need to before we scaling this workflow in the cloud part, we need to reserve this port information. It means that we need to know. So T1's output is connect to T2's input. So based on this logic, and also for if we're on T2, and we also need to know the T2's input is from the T1. So that's it. So based on this logic, and we need to have the input, the output. Let's start from the output. The output class. The output class is composed of three components. The first one is the my port ID and the children port ID. So, and also it also associated with the task scheduler. So because we also need to have the task scheduler's information. So we just put this class here. And also we have the input port. Input port is the only one information is the my port, and also is the task scheduler. So as you can see here, this is the example. So as you can see here, the T1 scheduler have one output. So we can see here, so the output is from the T1's output to T2's input. And also for the parent part is because we need to know for this specific task, we need to know the input is coming from which parents. So here, so for example, T2 only have one input, and here is the input port, and the parents is T1. So based on this logic, and we can automatically generate the hashing map for the input part and output part. So for example, this is the first scenario that this current task, the parents is empty and the children is not empty. So we can hard coding here, and we can extend the input port to a file address, and then we can automatically generate the output address and assign to the one out. So after this after T1 is finished, and we will go to the another task. another task is T2, and T2's parents is not empty, and the T2's children is also empty. So and we can just put the T1's output is here, and to the T2's import is here. So by using this method, and we can just automatically management the data output file name and the data input file name, and make it consistent. So here I also run this task, and you can see here the T1, T4, T6 is run at the same time, and also finished T1, T4, T6. Then we can continue the remaining tasks in the workflow. So the only issue here is that when I run the T7, and the T7 cannot run successfully based on the running data. So maybe I need to see what's happening for this part. Maybe it's this one. So this is the output of the T3. Here you can see here is the number is correct, but I cannot read it from this file. So maybe I will continue working on this part. I think next week I will work on with Said and to run a special task in the SGX machine. That's my planning. Yeah, thank you for listening.